Okay, guys, and welcome back to yet another game here. It is Blow Your Mind versus XPC. It is going to be an insane clash. Both of these two, of course, ending top of their, well, ending first and second respectively in the group stages. I'm Reddit. Joining me is Prophecy. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty good game here. I mean, Blow Your Mind did get the option on who they picked. That's why they picked the, or that's why we have the first and second in the semi-finals up against one another. But bit of an odd one. Not quite certain why you take the chance on playing your strongest opponent possibly in the semi-finals and maybe not even making it to the finals.
Perhaps you're just that confident.
Blow Your Mind obviously have some tricks up their sleeve.
Yeah. Quickly want to give a shout out to Pein, P-E-I-N from Twitch, and of course Clyde Hounds. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate the support that everyone on Twitch has been showing us. We've been, we're quite new into the international scene, and it's really good to get the this kind of feedback. Cotton Eye Joe, of course, a player in South Africa, also on the Twitch stream. So thanks a lot to everyone. I unfortunately can't give shout outs to every single person that's asking, but a big one to Crownick specifically for asking us to cast this from Esports Addicts. We really do appreciate it, and hopefully you guys will be using us a lot more. Haven't seen a lot of Kappas just yet, so it's always a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a good sign to get to cast a little bit more. I would have loved to cast a little bit more EU Dota this year, but we've been fairly busy. Anyway, we've got our options now, and that'll be Romania itself. So we see a fairly stacked team. I don't think there's many people that won't know BO3 from the side of Blow Your Mind, and there's certainly more than a few that know about Come With Me. Both two players very, very well known in the scene as a whole, and BO3 I think has won great many fans and quite a few detractors with his sometimes spectacular, sometimes if he plays for Cloud9.
Now BO3, Buffney, Come With Me and Cancel are four of the players from Kaipi. Of course their fifth they could not use since he was not Romanian, so Bobo came in here as a stand-in. Now if I'm not mistaken, Bobo used to play for Balkan Bears. So all five players here are actually professional players of their own right, and well, from the side of XPC, you do actually see quite a few familiar names as well, especially in that lower tier 1, or upper tier 2 bracket. Illusionist, Keanu, Masakari, Synergy, Rezvan, all of them actually known. And if I'm not mistaken, these guys have been playing together for quite some time. Blow Your Mind beat XPC 2-0 in the group stages, but hey, this is the semi-final, so anything can happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, you see, there's a lot less pressure in the group stages, so you can't just, beat somebody 2-0. Semi-finals, that's knockout time, so you got to make certain that you win your games. Anyway, Blow Your Mind, they're looking really solid coming out of the gates with a Shadow Fiend pick here. Hero in the first phase, that is a very, very interesting decision. Not one I would have called anytime soon. I mean, that leaves open quite a few heroes here. Darkseer is still available. Quap still available. Now Quap is known to be very, very good against the Shadow Fiend in mid lane, so maybe Blow Your Mind just daring XPC to take a chance here, and maybe got some other kind of little plans hiding in back play there.
Yeah. Now I've seen Jakiro also starting to rise again in a lot of the international matches, especially Jakiro Nature's Prophet combinations. The pushing power just from those two heroes, you can build three. You can pick three other heroes that go with team fight. But just the Jakiro and the Nature's Prophet, or Jakiro plus one alone, gives you so much push potential, especially when you're trying to break that high ground. But yeah, Jakiro Tusk banned out on the first phase, quite interesting. I mean, these two teams do play against each other quite a bit, so they do know each other individually. And XPC just countered, I mean, with that Shadow Fiend with an Undying, and as you stated, Queen of Pain.
Yeah, so Undying coming out of the gates fairly early. I mean, generally we'll see him paired with a Tusk in the laning stage, so I'd love to see how XPC decide to use him this time. Maybe something like the Earthshaker, keep them around long enough for that Tombstone to proc quite a few zombies. Queen of Pain, as I said, fairly standard, nothing really out of the ordinary there. And I mean, Blow Your Mind is going to have to commit some extra resource to make certain that their Shadow Fiend gets ahead in the mid lane now, because Quap naturally just wrecks him in that mid lane. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a Dazzle coming out here, just as a method to try and protect him. It's also a way of protecting somebody from that early game aggression coming out of there and dying with the Tombstone, and that Grave could do quite a bit of work here.
But Witch Doctor was the pickup here from, BlowYourMind. That's quite an early Witch Doctor pick. I mean, normally you might see Witch Doctor around the 4th or 5th pick coming through, or at least in the second phase. But first phase pick up Witch Doctor here, prioritizing it quite a bit, possibly also leaving the pool a lot more open, so that they, can still decide what they want to do, because you can run dual lanes with the Witch Doctor, you can run aggro with the Witch Doctor, you can still do whatever you want, and XPC doesn't know exactly what, BlowYourMind actually wants to do here. So Spirit Breaker being banned out now by BlowYourMind, and the dogs here as well by XPC. So quite a lot of engagement heroes or initiating / offlane heroes being banned out.
Yeah, I mean, again, we saw exactly how much work the Darkseer and Spirit Breaker together did, and I don't think either team is keen on having those heroes available to each other. So the one will ban the Spirit Breaker, the other one will ban the Darkseer. That does mean that we have a few heroes that don't provide as much pressure on that offlane. A Broodmother also being banned out. So basically, might be seeing something like the Slardar here again. Gets that Blink Dagger, gets the stun up and running. Clockwork could also make an appearance, but for the most part, we might be seeing. I mean, we could even see something like the Wind Ranger offlane here. It wouldn't be too surprising, given the paucity of top tier offlane options left.
Yeah, and just to clarify, Bobo was part of Balkan Bears Romania, not the standard Balkan Bears lineup. It was Balkan Bears Romania with Arise, Met, Zizal, Cancel, and Bobo. So that was the lineup. Just to clarify some of the guys on Twitch.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, having a look now, Gyrocopter, I mean, early aggression, good counter aggression, ban out there. Can combo out very well with the Shadow Fiend, of course. Goes very well up against an Undying. So very good ban from XPC there. And the Broodmother by BlowYourMind, trying to stop that, split push. Quite surprised that they would still ban out the Broodmother, but, I mean, Broodmother sees... how can I put it? Has its types. He comes into the meta for like a month long, and he's first pick, first ban type, material. And then the next month he'll be like second phase, and then the next month he'll be completely ignored, and then the next month he'll be first phase material again. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, the thing about a Broodmother though is a Broodmother always rocks something like an 80% ban rate on its appearances. It's like nobody wants to play that hero because it is. Oh, sorry, nobody wants to play against that hero because if you haven't planned for it, it's just an absolute nightmare. So, I mean, generally it's banned heavily, rarely picked. I mean, Mag I think was the only one getting away with it at I believe it was ESL New York for Vegas Squadron. There, you got it I think 3 or 4 times throughout the tournament, and I mean he just did brutal amounts of work with the damn thing. So that basically popped it back into everyone's minds and basically popped it back onto the ban charts. So. He does see some play, but for the most part, just a high tier ban. Never really something you want to deal with unless you've got a specific plan for it.
Yeah. You drinking some nice coffee there without me?
No, I wish I was, but apparently not.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounded like a teacup. I was just like saying, yeah, I probably should have got me something before this game started. Anyway, XPC decides to pick up the Bane. I mean, Bane is quite good up against the Shadow Fiend. You can completely take him out, even though he has a BKB. However, I'm not quite sure because I've seen a lot of teams prioritizing Bane in first picks or in the second phase, and I still haven't. I've seen one game which was 2 nights ago where Bane actually won a game. But other than that, I mean. You do have Brain Sap, which does do quite a bit. You do have your Nightmare. There's a lot of and Enfeeble, and of course your Fiend's Grip. There's a lot of potential with a Bane. It's just a very difficult hero to actually get your positioning up, especially with a Witch Doctor that can stun you out of that. There is a Chain Frost as well. There's quite a lot, and well, now a Legion Commander, so that will most likely be Bone Seven's Legion.
Yeah, probably Bone Seven's Legion. I mean, he's probably the most famous player of that Deadly Lady. But yeah, I mean, the thing about the Bane is just incredibly powerful in the laning stage. You can easily set up kills with the Nightmare. The Fiend's Grip needs no introduction. I mean, you can just lock down any hard carry of the opponent, whether he has BKB or not, for a long duration. Brain Sap, I mean, Bane is just like a full kit of nastiness and a lot of lockdown. Obviously, you can go for the Enfeeble. That's a very, very rare build these days, though, since it is so extremely heavy on mana for what you get out of it. But in general, Bane is he's just a good all-round hero. He does decent right-click damage. He's good at roaming, and I mean he's potent at low levels. He doesn't need massive amounts of levels to be useful. He doesn't have to have his level 6 to be relevant in a game, since the Nightmare at the perfect time in any kind of fight can turn things around significantly.
Well, we still have not seen a Windrunner being picked up here or banned out. The Nature's Prophet was picked up by XPC. The bans were Wraith King and the Viper, both semi-tanks. I mean, Viper is quite tanky in his own right, can stand up and deal out quite a bit, especially with the Nether Toxin. Wraith King, of course, we all know, and all know / love / hate Wraith King, depending on if he plays on your team or against your team. Do you see the Windrunner being picked up here by either XPC, well, Slaughter for XPC? What's the last pick coming through from, Blow Your Mind? Because I do think that it's going to be an offlane Legion Commander, mid Shadow Fiend. We still have that #1 role left, and it might even be a Razor.
Yeah, I don't know if the Razor would necessarily be the best hero here, since it would be pretty weak against something like the Undying. Quap could also do quite a number on him. I think maybe Juggernaut could be coming out again. It is a way of, just dodging something like the Slaughter ulti, avoiding, you can jump on the Quap and blow her apart before anything really comes down. So I think Blow Your Mind will probably go for a little bit of different carry here. They obviously don't have the options on the Gyrocopter. Interesting, no Alchemist here. I don't know if Elk would really be the best idea, since Slaughter's going to be packing major amounts of armor reduction. But if you wanted to throw them for a loop, I mean, you could just pop in the Elk there and, start his farm fest. There's a couple of heroes here.
It's going to be difficult
off a Aghanim Scepter as well. So you could run that utility Elk, farm the Legion, make certain he's up and running. And Shadow Fiend could also do quite a bit of work. But, maybe it is a bit of a greedy lineup if you go for the Elk here.
Yeah, it's, quite difficult up against the Queen of Pain. You can harass, I mean, if you're going to run an Elk, you will want to put him mid to, secure the ruins. And up against the Queen of Pain can farm quite safe behind the Acid Spray and can always get to the ruins before you. But it is an Ember Spirit, and that's going to be a come with me Ember Spirit. So quite interesting. Bone 7's Legion Commander, Buffney's Lich. We'll most likely see cancel on the Witch Doctor. Well, it depends. I actually don't know what role Bobo plays. So either Cancel's gonna... No, I think Cancel's gonna run the Shadow Fiend, then Bobo on the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, I mean, I must be honest, I haven't been really watching the Romanian scene at large, so I wouldn't know exactly what who plays what position. But yeah, for the moment, I mean, Bone 7, again, obviously we knew he was going to be on the Legion Commander. Come With Me was well known as a very much a utility player at times, so he's going to be doing the job on the Ember Spirit, and it's going to be interesting to see exactly how much he can get done here, because he obviously does profit from the Nature's Prophet, the treants there. It will allow him to get additional slashes if he has that Battle Fury up and running, and it could be a bit of a problem for XPC if they take fights and Ember Spirit has found enough time to farm decently.
Well, let's quickly introduce the side here from Blow Your Mind, aka Kaipi +1. It is going to be Come With Me on the Ember Spirit, Bone 7, I was about to say Blow 7, Bone 7 on the Legion Commander, Buffney on the Lich, Bobo on the Witch Doctor, and last but not least, the DC Cancel. He was having some troubles connecting in a little bit earlier, that's why everything was delayed by roughly 15 minutes. Sorry about that one, guys. That is going to be Cancel, and he is going to be playing the Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, and for the side of XPC, we have Masakari. He's grabbing that Slaughter. Razvan is on the Bane. Illusion will be picking, or Illusionist will be picking up the Undying. KNO will be grabbing that Queen of Pain, and Synergy will be completing the lineup on the Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, I mean, both these two teams have literally a star-studded lineup. Blow Your Mind a little bit more than XPC, but XPC, I mean, every now and then you do see a lot of the tier 2, I'm talking about like upper echelon tier 2, lower tier 1 teams breaking it through, and with players like Masakari, Keanu, Synergy, Illusionist, I mean, Razvan I've seen here or there, but the other four I've constantly seen, especially in the like I said, upper tier 2 bracket. So It's going to be interesting to see. Looking at these two lineups, Bone Seven's team, Blow Your Mind, quite greedy with the Legion Commander, Shadow Fiend, as well as an Ember Spirit. To support with the Lich, so we'll most likely be seeing Lich in that number 5 role, with the Witch Doctor going in that number 4. Are we going to be seeing a Voodoo Restoration Witch Doctor, or do you think Blow Your Mind as confident as they appeared by challenging XPC and maybe just going for that full Maledict build on the Witch Doctor?
I think it's more likely to be a Voodoo Restoration, since they don't have enough damage to really make it worthwhile. I mean, I suppose he'll pick up at least one level of it there for if Ember Spirit can catch somebody with the bowlers and have them around in the Flame Guard for a while. But for the most part, I don't think that Blow Your Mind is really going to be looking to blow apart that top lane if they do run the defensive tri lane. If they run the aggro try, I could definitely see that happening, since it's not too bad of an aggro try either. Bone 7 could be shifted onto the safe lane and farm away there, and then you have Come With Me grabbing an early level. The bowlers, Buffney and Bobo could then do significant amounts of damage if they got into positions.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of nuke that can come through with the Lich. I mean, Frost Blast, it's a 100 nuke at level 2, which is area, of course. Ember Spirit with Searing Change at level 2 will do 60. We'll basically do 120 damage in total, plus the Searing Change, Flame Guard. Well, not Searing Change, but the Flame Guard. Possibly, but let's have a look here. They did unpause for some reason. Oh, they just paused again. So we have to try and find quite a bit to talk about while we're busy waiting here.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is when we're in our keep, right? Is the ability to fill. So, yeah, I mean, looking at the side for XPC, I don't know. I just have a worry that if they don't get a whole lot done, then they could start to fall behind pretty quickly. I mean, yeah, they're going to be very, very strong in the early stages. They got lots of stun. They got lots of
control,
early game fighting. Yeah, early control of the team fights. BYM doesn't have any of that, so BYM is just liable to get run over here, particularly by Illusionist and Razvan. If they can get something going with Masakari in tow, I could definitely see something happening. But by and large, they need to play this well. Nature's Prophet probably will be sent to the offlane there. He's not going to get a whole lot of farm, but if BYM plays this correctly and sends that Legion Commander up top there, we could see just like an absolute killing field down there on the bot lane, and that would be one that the Undying, I think, would actually be a very, very big fan of, since he can just drop the Tombstone. He's got 3 heroes to proc the zombies on, and not a whole lot that BYM can do to actually take it out, since none of the heroes are particularly good at right click. So if XPC play this correctly, I could definitely see them winning that bot lane hard if BYM runs the aggro try. But I think no matter which way the safe lane goes, Synergy is not going to get a whole lot done. Whether he's up against a solo hero in the Legion Commander or a defensive try, I don't think he's going to be really looking to make any major plays. He'll find his farm, but other than that, he will just basically hang around, pick up the levels, and then go farm the jungle.
Yeah, no, definitely. Now, looking at the late game, or the mid game to late game, late game, Blow Your Mind has this, in my opinion. They have the Shadow Fiend, the Legion Commander. I mean, we saw what a Legion Commander can do if he actually is given space with a couple of kills, as well as an Ember Spirit. From the side of XPC, they have to be careful because, sure, they have the split push. But as soon as you start hitting that 40 to 45 minute mark, Blow Your Mind can literally burst 2 or 3 of your heroes down. And even though you have minus armor with a Slardar, it's going to be very difficult. You have the split push from XPC, true. But I think if Blow Your Mind can, if they snowball early on, this game is done. And if this game goes too late, this game is done. XPC's got a very specific timing window, and I think that is going to be between that 20 to 35 minute mark, that 15 minute mark. They should try and look to close off this game around there.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if BYM is even remotely in the region by about, say, 28 minutes, I think at that stage XPC will I would almost say have lost the game. XPC need to take Raxes probably by, at the latest, 30 minutes. And they need to make certain that once they take those Raxes, that they're in a position to at least pressure the rest, because BYM are not going to be all that concerned with what XPC will be throwing at them later on. And the biggest worry here is that BYM can do Rosh probably a lot quicker than XPC can. Obviously, they do have the Nature's Prophet, which can take some damage, and Masakari can reduce the amplifier, reduce the armor. But if BYM catches them in that pit, there's going to be hell to pay for XPC.
Well, let's have a look here. The guys are... they should really build like a... Steam or Valve should partner up with Google Translate. It'll be huge, and then like sell a translate package, especially if you're playing pubs and you want to translate what a lot of the Russians or whoever actually say. For example, now we're busy casting. I have no idea what they're saying, but I just saw 2 minutes, so I think they're trying to give BlowYourMind, or they're saying, guys, we've got 2 more minutes. That's actually come with me saying that. But a lot of disconnects happening from XPC as well, between the Nature's Prophet and the Queen of Pain the whole time. And I'm not quite sure what's going to be happening now. Maybe they're going to be grabbing in subs. But Cancel just can't seem to connect back into the game.
Yeah, it does seem as though things are not 100% with either connections with the servers. But something very, very odd is going on here. So hopefully we'll get it done somewhat soon. But yeah, I don't know about Google Translate. Have you checked what that thing can say sometimes? Like typing,
I know that. I mean, that will be like the funniest thing ever.
In English, and then translate it to a language, and then copy paste it and paste it back and try to convert it to English and see what happens. It's like the craziest thing. It's like not even remotely connected to what you said.
I know, but I mean, it could always just make it a lot funnier, if I can put it that way. Well, let's have...
like Dota 2 Reborn. Do you really want Valve to add something else that's going to break the game again?
Nope. From my side, the guys are asking who will win on Twitch. Looking at the draft, honestly, I'm not even talking about BlowYourMind being, in my opinion, a level above the rest in this comp. But looking at the draft as well, I would still give it to BlowYourMind. It's very greedy, but they can get away with it.
Yeah, I mean, short of a catastrophic laning stage, BYM should come out ahead. Then you've then you add in the fact that BYM is... I mean, I don't know the Romanian scene well enough, but I mean, they've got a number of players that have played at the top level in Dota, and those players have not embarrassed themselves. So I would say, just looking at that, BYM probably odds on to win this. I haven't checked the Dota 2 lounge odds, but BYM definitely, I think, odds on to win this. But XPC, I mean, we've seen teams. I mean, I watched my favorite team ever, DK 2014, lose to a team that they had like a 2% chance to lose to, and they got absolutely wrecked by that team in a best of 3. So anything can happen. Just because BYM has better known players and apparently a better draft doesn't mean that they're going to win here by any means.
Well, let's see how they play, guys. BlowYourMind ended first in the group stages. XPC ended second. I'm wondering why the two are up against each other. Since BlowYourMind ended first, they could actually choose their opponents, coming into the playoffs, and they chose to go up against XPC, knowing, well, listen, we have to beat them anyway if they make it through to the final. So let's just rather take them out a lot earlier and not give them that best out of 5, possible comeback scenario. So BlowYourMind being very cocky with that choice.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose maybe they could also feel that they know how XPC plays, since XPC has been apparently together, I believe it was 2 years, if Twitch chat is correct. Hopefully you're not trolling me there, guys. But, apparently XPC's been together for about 2 years, so those teams generally, I wouldn't say they fall into a rut, but they fall into, basically just a method of play that is very easy to recognize what's going to come. So teams will often play against opponents like that because you have a fairly good idea of what they're willing to do and what their capabilities are. Up against a wildcard team, what do you really know about them? They could pull out any kind of trick that you haven't seen before, and it could very easily lose your game, put you on tilt, and then all of a sudden you're playing under pressure, and if you're not used to dealing with it, you could very well just end up losing 2 games in a row, and that's it, you're out.
That's it. BO3 though is extremely unorthodox drafter. Has always been. Sometimes bites him in the foot. Sometimes it turns out amazingly well. Well, let's have a look here. The guys are asking what's going on, and it seems like Cancel has reconnected. Oppa, there you go. We are going to be getting underway. Hopefully his ping is sorted. Guys are saying stop DDoS. Yeah, guys, I mean, DDoSing is not the best thing. I mean, let the guys play, man, seriously.
Oh, well, I'm not going to mention anything about that. I've had my discussions about people that perform that, but let's hope we have a game to play.
Yeah, well, let's have a look here. The guys are getting ready. I think they're just checking if the ping is stabilizing. Let's quickly have a look here. A lot of the guys are asking, where are we from? We're from South Africa. The guy's like, your accent is so different. Hopefully it's an accent that you guys can actually listen to and that you guys enjoy. Check us out on Facebook. It's facebook.com/navgamingtv. Cryonix, thank you so much for posting that as well. I'm Reddit. Joining me is Halberd. I have linked us, our Twitter account, of course, on the stream so you guys can see. It's at Reddit Dota and at Prophecy Gaming. Am I correct, Prof?
Yeah, you're correct.
Perfect. So I think the game's actually going to be underway now. So, I mean, that's like a 15-minute worth of complete utter nonsense talk, but we made it work. We made it work.
Yeah, well, I mean, the last big tournament that we went to, we had to learn very quickly. If you didn't already know how to fill, you had to learn very, very quickly, since we had a number of issues there as well. But it does seem as though we're ready to go, and let's get this game on the road.
Okay, so we did introduce all the guys previously. Sorry about that. I'm going to introduce everyone again. It is going to be Come With Me on the Ember Spirit, Bone7 on Legion Commander, Buffney on Lich, Cancel on the Shadow Fiend, and Bobo, the only person that's not part of Kaipi in Blow Your Mind. He is on the Witch Doctor. Take us through the side of XPC.
Right, for XPC, as we hit pause number 2, we have Razvan. He's going to be picking up the Bane. We have Masakari. He's going to be handling the Big Fish Slardar. Asus will be grabbing the... Sorry, Keanu will be grabbing the Queen of Pain. Synergy on the Mauritius Prophet. Completing the lineup will be Illusionist on the Undying. And we have a rather ugly looking treant following somewhere in the middle there.
Well, the guys are asking the admin for a remake. Just quickly checking if this is actually the case. Everyone has DC'd, so guys, stay tuned. Hopefully we won't be much longer. Give us a couple of minutes and we'll be right back for the game. I think we just want a new server. Stay tuned. Game number 1 between Blow Your Mind and XPC will be right up.
places, how you met and forgot all those unknown faces, how you felt between their promises and empty embraces. Now all is forgiven, all is forgiven. forsaken. See the landscape flashing by. Don't you cry, Let it be today. When you reach out and pray. Let the snow veil your trail. Head up high. So I said no, it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you do that to me? I killed, I know, 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trolling. No, it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you do that to me? I killed, I know, 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trolling.
Wait a minute!
So I said no, it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you do that to me? I killed, I know, 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trolling. No, it was supposed to be my pentakill. Why did you do that to me? I killed, I know, 1, 2, 3 for champions. I can't believe you're trolling.
Okay guys, and welcome back to game number 1 between Blow Your Mind and XPC. We had like a 20-minute discussion on, while the games were paused, and then the remake was there. Then unfortunately, Prophecy wasn't in because he had to leave because of reborn things, and then the game started and now we had to remake again. So hopefully this time everything's fine, everything will be ready. I'm Reddit, joining me is Prophecy. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, well, hopefully we can get past the pauses and the disconnects and all the rest, and just have ourselves a fun game of Dota 2.
Yeah, well, there's a pause. I think both guys just want to check and make sure. It does seem like Razvan this time did not load. Oh. No, he's back. He's back. He's back. Okay. Touch wood. Everything's going to be perfect from now on out. So let me introduce the side of Blow Your Mind quickly. It is going to be BO3 here up on the Legion Commander, Cancel on the Shadow Fiend, Ember Spear is being played by Come With Me, Buffney on the Lich, and Bobo on the Witch Doctor. Take us through the side of XPC.
For XPC, we have Illusionist. He's bringing up the tail. Synergy will be running the natures, but KNO will be picking up the Queen of Pain. Razvan will be grabbing that in, and completing the lineup on the front leading Slaughter will be Masakari.
Yeah, a very late smoke coming out by their side, but of course this will mean they should be able to move into the jungle without being seen. It does look like it is going to be an aggro tri-lane here with BO3, as well as Buffney and Bobo, but we will see. XPC looking to scout out just a little bit, blocking up some of the camps here. I mean, you really want to do that up against the Shadow Fiend. But wait, are we actually going to see a first blood here on Come With Me? This might actually be Come With Me.
Out, yeah, he's pretty much dead. There's no way he's getting out of this.
No, he actually does get slept up right now. The Slytherin Crush is there to follow up, and Come With Me, buddy, you are dead. Of course, he does have, well, did skill up Flame Guard, but first blood going the way of Master Carrier. I mean, that's quite a big one, especially on your Slaughter, and it might just be that they're going to rotate up some of the lanes and probably try and run dual lanes, or have the... Who's going to be bot, do you think?
Bot for XPC, I think, will be Synergy. They're going to try to run an aggro try here. For XPC, for BYM, they were probably thinking maybe they could get away with a solo Ember, but with a death like that, there's no way they're going to allow that, so Bobo will be hanging around up here with him.
Yeah, luckily it was early enough so that he does manage to get the creep wave off, and it is going to be dual lanes coming through here from Blow Your Mind. And I mean, Lich, of course, with having that sacrifice, it is quite a big deal. Sacrifice a friendly creep and converts his current hit points into mana for Lich. Now, that of course denies experience a little bit. Now, on the last patch, was it that it denies it for... Oh, wait, top laner? Oh, no, does it deny experience for the opposing team as well? Or, because I remember it always used to. Oh, Come With Me. One more hit needed. It's going to be a Undying Decay, getting that second kill on Come With Me.
Yeah, very, very easy there for Illusionist in the end to get that second kill on to the Come With Me Ember Spirit. But yeah, going back to your question, it was that every creep you ate gave you experience, and it would share that experience to everybody. So it didn't deny the experience to anybody, and that they changed that now. I think it's only your team that now gets that sacrifice experience.
Yeah, I also thought so. I just could not remember. And, you know, we spoke about the early game should go through to the Shadow Fiend, and... well, it has. I mean, look at Cancel already. What is coming through? A full salve. So the bottle is going to be quite delayed up here for the Shadow Fiend. Still sitting at level 1 with 0 lost hit, 0 denies versus a 2.5 level Queen of Pain sitting top of the leaderboard, 5-5.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is Queen of Pain naturally wins the matchup anyway, since she's very difficult for the Shadow Fiend to actually lock down, and she can slow him up with the Shadow Strike. And then what XPC also did is they committed Razvan there for the first level or two, and all he did was basically annoy the Shadow Fiend, right-click him, and generally just force him out of the lane. I mean, that's really going to shut him down. He's already had to move completely out of the lane. He's had to spend extra money on a salve now, and that's going to slow down his bottle. It's going to slow down a whole lot of things, and it means that XPC just continues to make things happen here. As well, never mind, we do see the first death on the bot lane this time. Buffney and BO3 combine to pick up Synergy.
Yeah. Luckily, I did not miss the first blood, since that is the third kill coming through the way. I was busy looking at the top farm. I mean, they did manage to pull the creep wave into the side cap, dropping the tombstone there and getting quite a lot of farm up here for the side of XPC. But looking at this early game though, sitting 2-1, still very even. Not a lot has been exchanged. The big thing though is Bones is, you know, come with me dying twice on this Ember Spirit, and Ember Spirits are very difficult here to come back with.
Yeah, the problem with the Ember Spirit is that it's got a terrible stat values here, and I mean, when you only got 15 HP, you got 435, and a lot of physical damage being dealt to you on this lane, so you're not looking too healthy at the stage, and to die twice, I mean, it's a rough lane, but you'd expect more from Come With Me. You don't really want him to die this many times so early.
Yeah, no, definitely, and a lot of movement coming through here by the Bane in the enemy jungle, but blink in, very aggressive blink in here onto the Shadow Fiend. I mean, Bane is looking for this courier snipe, most likely will not get it, but they don't have to commit the whole, you know, tri lane through to the top lane. It's 2 melee heroes, but it's 2 extremely tanky melee heroes with the Undying and the Slardar, and I mean, they're going to be doing okay, but Razvan's just come in now into everyone, and well, they're just trading, he's trading blows here with the Witch Dogs. However, the Tombstone gets dropped, and Come With Me might actually just drop from this one again. Oh, this might just be a double kill. Oh, there's the stomp and one more hit needed. This is turning out horrible for the side of Blow Your Mind, and I was just praising them, saying, well, they are like it's like a superstar lineup for this competition, and well, XPC was just like, well, you guys had the audacity to actually, you know, versus us, and say, well, I'm lagging. Whoa, that's quite wrong.
Yeah, so I mean, basically the thing is that they've gone for an extremely greedy lineup. XPC's gone for this early game aggression, and it's really costing him. Illusionist, however, might die here. He's going to somehow save himself with that soul rope. Come With Me wants blood, and they will eventually get it. The creep doing the job there and finishing off the Undying. Bobo will combine well there with Come With Me, and they might very well have taken another kill on Masakari, but he did have the salve available to him, so he's going to be looking pretty healthy at the moment. But yeah, I mean, BYM going for a very, very greedy lineup, and XPC punishing them in the early stages, losing a couple of kills though, and that might come back to bite them, since obviously BYM does have uber late game if it does go that far.
Yeah, definitely, and this Nature's Prophet, I mean, not doing the best here up against, you know, Bone Sever's Legion Commander, but I mean, we all know Bone Sever's Legion Commander is, I mean, that's, you know, one of the heroes that you don't want to play. I actually mentioned the Kaipi versus Forcia and all game, the Legion Commander was just constantly banned out up against them. But yeah, let's have a look here once again. Top lane, there might just be an engagement here onto the Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit does get crushed up. The Tombstone is dropped, and this might just be Come With Me dropping for the fourth time. One more hit needed. Illusionist just, I mean, this is honestly showing no respect due to Blow Your Mind. But, you know, it is also on Blow Your Mind itself, because
they... in mid lane, it looks like Cancel's about to eat a death as well. Kiano will finish him off very, very easily. Just blinking in, getting the scream off, and Sonic Wave to finish the deal.
Yep. Well, Blow Your Mind decided to challenge XPC. They had the choice, and currently I think they might just be saying, well, maybe we should not have done that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say immediate regret, but certainly a little bit of is coming through right now. Come With Me trying to just steal away the pulled creeps. And Bobo not doing too badly, but I mean, XPC, they won't be too sad about that. They've gotten both, they've basically won 2 of the 3 lanes. Now, yes, Bone 7's Legion Commander is going to be a major factor if he continues to farm the way he has been. But I think you can deal with that. You know, you've got 2 lanes farming very, very well, shutting down the opposing cause, and I mean, I don't think that a Legion Commander can carry hard enough that she can deal with 3 farmed cores as opposed to...
Well, Razvan's going straight in this time. There is more TPs coming in this time to try and help out, and I think this might just be Bane actually dropping. This time the TPs were there, and instantly the side of XPC decided to back off. They did throw the Tombstone, but quite a defensive Tombstone, if I can't, you know, put it that way, instead of actually dropping it where the engagement was. But Bane running in there very deep. I mean, that was sort of like a AFK play. But they want more. The stun is there. Is there actually no levels up in Maledicts, just 2 up in heal. I mean, they really need the heal.
Yeah, I mean, we were discussing this in the picks, whether he would go for the Maledict, but I mean, like I said, this is not the kind of lane that you can go for a Maledict. Your damage potential is very, very low. You've already lost the early stages, so the heal is probably the only way to go here. The Voodoo Restoration will be picked up. I don't know if he's going to max it out early on, but he certainly will keep at least 2 levels in it at the moment.
Well, let's have a look here on the middle lane. I mean, Queen of Pain getting that early pick off on top of Cancel. That's the one thing with the Queen of Pain lineup, especially if you're up against a hero that doesn't have any escape, like a Shadow Fiend. You can literally, at level 6, it's like a 90% guaranteed kill with the Scream of Pain on top of a Sonic Wave. And if you have level 2, Shadow Strike, that is always guaranteed. The Shadow Fiend going in for, there's no stack, so just going in standard for normal engagement, normal farming. But having a quick look at Bone 7, sorry, just got sidetracked there. Bone 7, he's been farming up 53 and 8 versus the next closest to him, 41 and 18.
Yeah, he's been having a field day down here. And I mean, obviously, quite a few of those kills will be the Treants, but I mean, still, it's pretty significant that he's able to just farm away this freely. And I mean, XPC hasn't really shown any desire to get involved with attacking him, and it's slightly dangerous. I mean, he can leverage this into, early Blink Dagger, early Blade Mail, and if he starts setting up fights, the rest of his team can profit off. Very soon you're dealing with a super hard carry Bone 7 Legion Commander that, stacking up damage like that, it just very quickly becomes completely and utterly impossible to deal with.
Yeah, they did want to go on to come with me right there, but the Searing Chains were used, and even a Nightmare as well. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to follow up on that. Of course, the Witch Doctor did come in to try and help out. But having a quick look at the, I mean, it's, 8 minutes into the game. Switching over to, net worth, it's... Oh, wait, no, middle lane though, we do see an engagement coming through here. There's going to be the Queen of Pain, and the Queen of Pain blows his ultimate, and of course, Cancel just gets deleted from the game.
Yeah, once again, just getting damaged incredibly by that Queen of Pain, and they're going to try and make a movement here onto Synergy. Yeah, there we go. Well played by both Buffney as well as Bone 7, getting that easy win there. And Bone 7, however, might trade his life. He's worth quite a bit and will go down once again. And thankfully it is split between the rest of the team, but Bobo might be the last trade in the fight, and that'll be the
3 for 1, not really worth it. You did get a dual victory, however, supports are just so under-leveled here from the side of, BlowYourMind. There's no level 6 up on Lich. There's no level 6 up on the Witch Doctor versus... Well, it's basically the same for XPC, however, they have abilities that can actually help them. They have the Tombstone, they have the Sleep, the Slither and Crush, as well as the control from the Nature's Prophet. So, XPC leading in regards with net worth. It's not by as much as you would think. It's just at 1,000 net worth. That's it. And gold-wise, experience-wise, is actually in BlowYourMind's favor. So, it looks 9-4. It looks like XPC is dominating this game, but it's literally even.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I suppose a lot of it does come down to the fact that Bone 7 is getting quite a bit out of the spot lane, and the cores are still farming well. I mean, they're not... The CS stats are pretty ugly to look at, particularly for Cancel in the mid lane. He's about 20 behind the Queen of Pain, but he still has some worth in his hero. So it's probably, I think, a bigger advantage for XPC than it shows in the graph, but still nothing insignificant for BYM to overcome.
Top lane, come with me, actually went in with 3 remnants. Unfortunately, there's just a big surprise coming through, and there was a smoke rotation from XPC. I don't think he expected that. Going in with 3 remnants, trying to get that pick off, and it was just like, surprise, dude. You're dead.
Yeah, that was a bad mistake to make, and they might very well get a kill into Bobo here. He's running for his, or he's walking for his life, and unfortunately not fast enough. The fish will get him in the end.
Yeah, Mino bottom tier 2 tower is taking quite a bit of damage from Bone 7 and of course Buffney. There is a support rotation coming in here from the Undying. He does not have Tombstone, but there's more TPs, and of course Bone 7, he just decides to TP out of this one alive. Is he going to be able to get anything? Nope. Buffney as well should make it out. So,
yeah, I mean, they're not going to be all that worried, are they?
Nah.
Pretty easy. There's not a whole lot of lockdown on the XPC side, so they will be able to perform tricks like that, so long as the Bane or the Slaughter are not in the vicinity.
Yep. Well, it is going to be a mech up here for the Shadow Fiend. However, Shadow Fiend might just drop here if the Sonic Wave is committed, and boom, there you go. I mean, Keanu is on a killing spree. He's just completely dominating this middle lane. Every single time anyone comes close, if the Queen of Pain has her ultimate up, it's an instant death. And sitting on 5,400 net worth. That's more than Bone7, which, and I mean, he had a free farm lane.
Yeah, I mean, Bone7's going to have to super hard carry from this point onwards to keep his team in this game. He's got a Blink Dagger, but I mean, if we check what's coming out on the other side, the Masakari, Slardog has a Blink Dagger. He's got himself a completed set of trades as well, which is not the case for Bone7. He's got the phase boot. So going a little bit more, you know, glass cannon type in this game is Bone7. Hopefully it works out. But at the moment, XPC look to pretty much run away with this game if they can continue the way they are playing at the moment.
Yeah, well, there's a smoke up now on Bone7. I think they might just want to back off here, try and go for that that extra duel victory, because I mean, they really need it. They put a very defensive ward up, and they're backing off smoking. Let's see if this smoke actually, you know, does anything, and they decide to go towards the top lane. So quite interesting that they didn't go through the enemy jungle. They should have been able to actually pick off the Undying there, but however, this might just be Nature's Prophet. Is Nature's Prophet actually going to drop from this? The blink is there, the duel as well, and this is going to be an extra win for the Legion Commander. However, he might just die, and well, there you go. There's not a Queen of Pain Sonic or a Sonic Wave coming through. However, the Fiend's Grip is used, and even though the Shadow Fiend Requiem was used, they might be able to get something more from this. Nope. That's a 2-for-1 trade-off. Every time that they manage to get that kill for Bone7, they actually drop more heroes.
Yeah, and I mean, this is quickly getting to that point where, you know, BlowYourMind might very well just start throwing the towel, because XPC are starting to open up a very, very big gap, and there's not a whole lot that BOM is able to do. I mean, Shadow Fiend is going for the mech. He's not even close to that. The Legion Commander, yeah, sure, she's won 2 duels, but outside of that, I mean, she's still got 1,000 HP and 9 armor, so XPC can really just blow her away before she's really capable of doing anything. And I mean, at the moment, BYM are under the caution. They don't really have the heroes to pull themselves out of the abyss, because they're falling down that pretty quickly.
Yeah, well, 4,000 net worth lead for the side of XPC. It's not unsurmountable, but it is quite significant. And that's the thing, XPC have an early game lineup. I mean, we were busy speaking about how close it was, and they would be fine. Oh, wait. Ooh, Bone7 blinking and wanting to go for that duel. I think BlowYourMind would have been okay if they still kept it roughly even, especially because they have the better late game. However, the problem here is they're just going to feed another kill right now, and this is not, you know, I mean, they really can't afford this. This is going from even to 4k, it's going to go to 5k, and it's going to slowly but surely just escalate completely out of control. And oh, that was so close. The Bane nearly getting that. This is the
classic snowball. I mean, you know, you start off with 1 or 2 kills early on, and that just flies out of control, because BYM can't really take any sort of fight here. I mean, the only great team fight abilities they have is the Shadow Fiend's Requiem. He hasn't really been able to get that off in any meaningful way. They do obviously have the Witch Doctor now with his ulti, which could do something, but for the most part, XPC basically could just drop the Tombstone, have Queen of Pain jump over the back, scream, you know, Sonic Wave, and that's the end of at least somebody. There we go. BlowYourMind eats a very painful death, and Buffney could be the next one.
Unfortunately, no bash chance, 15% bash chance coming through. But bottom lane, come with me. He does have a remnant. But they do have a Fiend's Grip, so they might actually be able to get this kill. I think they're waiting for the Flame Guard to actually come off cooldown, placing a very aggressive ward. And is this going to be them looping in? The Flame Guard's off. Is he actually
they're going to have to catch him quickly, though. He's got quick trigger finger, so we need to find him. Do they spot him? Bane's ulti. There we go. Done.
I mean, this is a very, very, very large, you know, range ultimate coming through. He does actually manage to get out of this one, and I think he will be okay.
Somehow they just didn't have enough damage there. I think if Bane had been able to get off there, the brain sap, but I'm pretty certain that the Imp Spirit broke his keyboard there, pressing that R button to TP away. So well played there by him, saves his team another death, and you know, maybe the smallest little bit of help might have just saved him there.
Yeah, well, we do see a smoke up coming through right now. Bone7 does go for the duel. They might actually be able to get this kill on the Undying. That's the 3rd duel victory going the way of the Legion Commander, and they might want more. Bane is in big trouble right now, and that's going to be him dead as well. I mean, this is what Bone7, this is what BlowYourMind should have done earlier on. They should try and go for those aggressive smokes into the enemy jungle, because they can see someone's pushing up top. They can see someone was defending middle. So go where the other 3 possibly are, and you should be able to get those picks. Are we going to see another blink duel? Duel still off cooldown or on cooldown? 20 seconds left. And getting those 2 picks, I mean, it's not on your course, but it's at least something.
Yeah, it definitely is. And Keanu's going to make his movement back that way. That's interesting. I mean, he should have known that BYM would be coming from that general direction, but decides to take the chance. And might very well have paid for his life had Bone7 decided to jump there with a duel.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the duel is up right now. There's 3 heroes here from XPC, and Bone7 just decides to hightail it out. Going for that Blade Mail. Do you think Blade Mail is going to be enough this game? Because the amount of burst coming through from everyone on XPC side could possibly hurt them, but I mean, what other value item can you go for this early on to try and swing the game around?
Yeah, you see, the thing with the Blade Mail is that it's very, very low cost for what it gives you, and I mean, an ill-placed or an ill-timed skill from one of the XPC players could actually end up killing themselves if they don't watch themselves carefully. And I mean, his other option probably is a BKB, but that's still countered by the Bane ulti, and that would take a hell of a lot longer to get up there. So I'm not opposed to this. It's a decent item. It gives him okay stats for the early stages, and it makes him decently tanky against XPC, and it's a way of countering the Slardar as well.
Yeah, definitely. Ember Spirit has gone for that Yasha early on. I mean, not opting to go for straight for the Battle Fury. Maybe wanting to go for a Manta quite early on. I don't agree with that, but up against the likes of XPC, you might need that just to survive a little bit longer. Otherwise, it's just a casual Yasha. We'll
yeah,
see.
just a little bit extra damage, a little bit extra armor, which he desperately needs. Hopefully, it's not a S and Y. I mean, there's certain items that you just don't buy, and an S and Y on Ember is one of them.
Well, Ember just doing quite a bit of damage, actually baiting out the tombstone there. However, Lich might actually just drop from this. If he does survive a little bit longer, is he going to go for that Chain Frost? Unfortunately not. And that just, well, that's a Lich down. Are they going to try and go for, well, hold on. There's a Queen of Pain that's invised up right now and I don't think, let's quickly do the math. Does she have enough damage? No, she's going straight forward, and is she actually going to land a Bone7? Well, okay, hold on. Yep, there you go. And
yeah,
Bobo,
Synergy's arrival actually secured that, since he silenced her up. If she hadn't done that, she probably would have gone down.
Yep. And I mean, having that, Nature's Prophet up with the Orchids, I mean, that is quite heavy. But bottom lane though, we do see Come With Me actually managing to get the Searing Chain straight onto Undying, and Undying will drop. So that's a Bone7 for an Undying. At this point, I think BlowYourMind will be happy with any kind of trade-off.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, particularly the Undying has been causing them no end of headaches, so he is still quite worth it. And Cancel, I think, got, what, 354 out of that. So it helps Cancel quite a bit, and the Ember Spirit is also involved. So it's a little bit of something for him. He is 0, 6, and 3, though, so it's a hell of a long road to start walking for that comeback. But he's got to start somewhere, and that's probably the best place to start.
Some of the guys on the Twitch chat are saying Bone7 got boned, and everyone's laughing about that. Kappas all around, guys. But let's have a look here. I mean, Cancel's done, tremendously well to actually come back from such a, to be honest, miserable early game. I mean, he was completely dominated, shut down, and now he's sitting second net worth, still over 1,200 gold behind the Queen of Pain, but doing quite well for himself.
Yeah, doing very, very well for himself at the moment. It's still it's a rough stage to be. The Queen of Pain, I'm actually interested to see that she went for the Aghanim Scepter. I'm not the biggest fan of the Aghanim, since if he'd gone for something like the Orchid, perhaps it would have been a little bit more useful. Now, they do have the Orchid on the Nature's Prophet, but I generally think that there's better items for the Natures than an Orchid at this stage. Possibly something like an early pickup on the Necro to just pressure the towers a little bit more.
Yeah, well, this is going to be Rosh going the way of XPC. I actually do like the pickup of the Aghanim Scepter on the Queen of Pain. It reduces your cooldown so much, and since you constantly want to fight, having that Sonic Wave up every 40 seconds is a big bonus for you. Especially since you are ahead already. I mean, even if you're behind, having that Sonic Wave to clear out the creep waves every time. But while you're ahead, it gives you bonus damage. And it's just every 40 seconds you can literally blow it, so you can constantly be looking for those ganks.
Yeah, but I mean, the problem is it doesn't help your sustainability all that much. I mean, yeah, you've got more mana to deal with, but your spells don't get any cheaper and all the rest, so it makes life a bit difficult for you. as we will see fights down on the bot lane as again BYM loses 2. They get a tower in trade, but I don't think that that's worth it at all.
Now, well, Keanu's actually coming in right now. They does manage to scout out, but the blink comes in from BO3. He does actually use his blade mail. He does get the winner, and I think this is just sacrificing the Witch Doctor right now. They should be able to get out of that one alive, but a very good block coming in from the Shadow Fiend. Well, he actually manages to TP out. How did he die here?
Dies in well. He died in well.
Oh my word, that was probably coming through from the Orchid damage as well. And once again, BO3 does manage to get the dual victory, but at a cost of 2.
Yeah, but I mean, how worth is that? Because again, they're going to lose a tower. Yes, they got a tier 1 a couple of minutes ago, but I mean, it essentially cost them 4 heroes as BO3 tries to jump in now onto Masakari, and Come With Me right as well tries to get the double bolus. He does get it onto Masakari as well as Illusionist, but he is now fighting alone, and Come With Me I don't think is long for this world. Doesn't have any of the remnants available. Might get a kill here somehow. Masakari goes down. Don't quite understand what goes on there. Ulti comes through from Kiano, and that'll be the end of the Ember Spirit's attempt there. Bobo might very well just trade his life as well as the entirety of the XPC arrives.
Very
and just finishes
aggressive
off the
movement
Witch
coming through there from the support, from the standing there. But let's have a look. Have a look at the net worth. It's still not as far as you would expect, being 24-10 behind. But net worth wise, 7,500 in the favor of XPC. I mean, they've got this game under control. They haven't won this game just yet, but they've got this game under control. If they keep on doing what they're doing right now, sooner or later, it's going to force BlowYourMind into very unfavorable situations. And, well, having the split push, I mean, we spoke about the early game. We spoke about that 20 to 35 minute mark is XPC's timing window. And they're hitting it at the exact moment that they have to.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I said that they needed to be far ahead, and like I said, it doesn't seem like a big lead, 5,000, but it's actually, it's bigger than it appears, because they've really shut down BYM, and BYM has really not been able to get a hell of a lot done at all. The team fights are just a complete train wreck in their favor. Against them. I mean, they'll get, a single win for BO3 and lose 4 heroes across the map for it, so it's really not worthwhile trades that they're winning at all here, and BYM has to be very, very careful that they don't start, taking 5v5 engagements and then just losing those wholesale, because they've mostly just lost 3v2s and 3v4s and 2v3s, and that's basically going to start costing them very, very big in the near future with the items that XPC is starting to pile up.
Yeah, well, a smoke movement coming through from XPC, unfortunately not catching anyone. And there's almost likely the smoke's gonna run out right on top of an observer ward. Oh, well, actually yes. There you go. Keanu actually runs over it. So the side of BlowYourMind know this. They see this. They're probably gonna try and at least push for this bottom tier 2 tower. Try and trade it off. Both the 2 glyphs are up. Would you trade or would you try and defend?
Trade. I mean, any trade when you're behind is actually better for you. And because you're already behind, trading evenly is actually a win for you. So neither of these tier 2s is super important, but it does look as though BYM is actually going to try and fight this. I have no idea why they're going to do that. It's not going to end well.
Well, let's have a look here. The smoke movement is up. Where's the engagement going to come from? The smoke, they're still waiting. Who's actually going to go in first? The Mask of Madness does get popped in. Is he actually going to be able to get the blink? He goes straight in onto the Bane. However, well, there's the Chain Frost coming through as well. Very good Chain Frost that actually does manage to catch 2. Unfortunately, they've not lost anyone. Witch Doctor ultimately doing quite a bit as well. Queen of Pain using that big scream, and they do manage to pick off the Shadow Fiend after that. So it's a 1-for-1 trade-off, but a support for core roll at this point. Come With Me also dropping to 2-for-2 at this point. The big Undying is still there, and well, BO3 is still trying to do what he can. Unfortunately, it's not a lot. 3-for-3 with, I think this is a favorable trade, sort of, for the side of BYM. This Queen of Pain, I mean, using that ultimate, it just hit everyone at the right time, and luckily for BO3, he managed to get out of that one alive. But Cancel, just once again getting cancelled out of the game quite early on. He died. It looked like he had an inverse ruin, or is that a glimmer cape? No, it looked like he had an inverse ruin in the bottle, but unfortunately that was right on top of a dire sentry. I mean, who places a dire a radiant sentry here?
Yeah, well, I mean, they must have figured something was up, because there's no way
0.7?
that... I mean, if I remember correctly, hold on, so BO3 is going to get caught up now. That'll be the end of him. There we go. So, I think they saw the Shadow Fiend going for... was it the Shadow Fiend? I think someone was going for the damn... the Shadow Blade earlier, and that might have been why they thought of going that way. But
I don't see Shadow Blade.
either that or just, you know, insane preparation. Batman skills there, but it does seem as though XPC just had a better idea of what was going on there. But I mean, again, I said it. It's like somehow BYM decides to take that fight. They go 3 for 3, and they still ended up losing that fight overall. I mean, they lost. I think they came out 800 experience worse and 200 gold better. So worthwhile fight, particularly because it cost them their Shadow Fiend and their Ember Spirit. And they only basically took out the Bane, the Undying, and I think it was the Slardar in the end. No, it was, I think, Nature's Prophet.
Well, we might see another engagement check. Yano, nope, just scouting out the lich. Have a quick look at the sentries here coming through from XPC being placed. Now, the only Shadow Blade up currently is here from the Nature's Prophet. But there's just completely de-warding of the opponent's jungle to make sure that they have complete map control, that they can control the way this map goes, as well as saying, well, we know you don't have vision on us right here, so we can literally stand and wait for you to come on us, and we'll just win the fight.
Yeah, I mean, XPC was very, very confident in taking that fight in the enemy jungle because they knew that BYM couldn't have, you know, snuck up in two different, or in two unexpected of a position. So they decided to take that fight. Again, drew pretty even on the end, but I still think they came out ahead in the end there, particularly with BO3 going down at the end.
Yeah, well, Bane managed to get back out of that. I mean, he was in a very dangerous position right there. But this is 4 heroes from the side of XPC, and of course the Nature's Prophet can just TP in any time. They're baiting this one out. Rosh, we'll find out right now when Rosh is back. But on that note though, well, Lich is actually going to be able to TP out of this one alive. So knowing that the wards were here, I mean, to be honest, the Ember Spirit did drop. I didn't see that. But BYM could have lost a lot more from that fight. And it just seems to be the way the game is going. XPC just constantly controlling the map, reading BYM completely. And you did bring that up early on.
Yeah, the problem is BYM's gone way too greedy here. Their lanes were incredibly weak outside of the Legion Commander up against the Nature's Prophet, and it just played into XPC's hands. XPC went for this early game aggression. BYM couldn't handle it because the heroes are just too soft to deal with something like the Undying. And it's come back to bite them big time. They don't really have any method of getting involved in these fights now, and when they do, XPC is more than capable of just standing and delivering, and XPC, I mean, they don't really care about any of the
BO3 being caught out. Yep, and BO3 trying to go for that sneaky for that sneaky kill on the tower. They did manage to loop around, get the Bane Fiend's Grip off, and, well, at the base of BYM at this point, it is going to be Boo Boo, but luckily the Witch Doctor, the Coconut's just bouncing through the whole time. Come With Me managing to actually get that kill. So they managed to get 1, but in trade of 4 once again. I mean, they knew there was wards here from the previous engagement, from the Nature's Wrath actually hitting them, and they don't have any vision there at all. This has just opened up Rosh. BO3 got caught out with the Bane looping in from the back, Fiend's Grip, as well as the TPs in from the Nature's Prophet and the Undying. And I have to say, XPC just doing tremendously well. Having a quick look at the Queen of Pain items, I mean, she has a Scythe of Eyes, she has an Aghanim Scepter up at 30 minutes into the game. We spoke about the timing. This is the timing, and it's going to. I'm struggling to see how how BlowYourMind can come back from this.
Yeah, I mean,
horrible fight.
The thing is, high ground, I think, is their last defense. They have a decent high ground hold here with the Legion Commander as well as the Shadow Fiend, so they can clear those waves pretty quickly. And that'll be a method of taking the fight, but it's almost like XPC will just jump ahead. The thing is, XPC can get onto the high ground pretty quickly since they have a Blink Dagger on the Slardar as well as the Quap's natural Blink. So again, if Quap can just get behind them, drop the Sonic Wave, and just land the Scythe of Ice on somebody, that should be the end of the fight there for BOM, since the amount of damage they'll have taken will just be too much.
Well, we might see an engagement here on the top lane. Nope, the TP does get cancelled by the Nature's Prophet, and are they actually going to try and go in onto the Slaughter? There it is, blink straight in, getting the duel, but Slaughter is extremely tanky. They should be able to get this one off. Bone7 sitting with 72, and this time for once, a duel did not cost them 2 or 3 or 4 heroes.
Yeah, nice play there in the end actually, as they did sneak up with the smoke and get the kill. But Slaughter will, I think, be a little bit disappointed with himself, since there was nobody on the map anywhere, and I mean they have very, very decent ward coverage to the side of XPC, so he'll be kicking himself a little bit that he didn't suspect something up with that.
Yeah, well, let's have a quick look here. There is a Invis Rune grabbed up here from the Queen of Pain. I mean, she might just decide to go for a quick blow ulti, and Bobo, buddy, you're dead.
I shall make certain that there's nobody else in the area, and then just finish.
Well, they actually do blow everything onto Bobo right now, and they do manage to get the sheep onto Cancel, and Cancel just decides to TP out. He should be okay from this. But having a look at Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet has a Shadow Blade, Orchids up, Mjolnir up, as well as an Ultimate Orb, so that's most likely, well, just a secondary Scythe coming up, and Bone7, I think he's just gonna, yeah, he's gonna run out. And
he doesn't have a TP either. I mean, they spotted him here, so he's gonna blink down, but yeah, Muscar is right on top of him. End of Bone7.
I think this might be the beginning of the end for BYM. I mean, I did like their draft. I thought they could pull it off, but the early game just, I mean, XPC just completely dominated, and everything came through from this middle lane. The Queen of Pain completely dominating, and a lot of times when you do see that middle laner staying in lane, trying to farm up. I mean, once you're ahead as a mid laner, you don't stay ahead by staying mid. You stay ahead by rotating the whole time and then going back mid when you have your ultimate to kill again. And that's exactly what the Queen of Pain did. So I have to really give props here to the Queen of Pain being played by, Keanu. He's just been tremendous.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they gave him a very, very easy lane against the Shadow Fiend, and they also helped him out with the Bane coming through at level 1, which just forced the Shadow Fiend out. So Keanu got a level up on the Shadow Fiend, and he's never let go since then. So it's made life incredibly difficult for BYM because their Shadow Fiend was neutered, the Ember Spirit up top was getting absolutely nothing done, and I mean, things just snowballed from there. They really couldn't get anything done, even with Legion Commander getting essential free farm in the bot lane. Legion Commander doesn't provide a whole lot outside of, a little bit of damage, some heal, and a decent, how can I put it, a decent, if somewhat gambly of an ulti. I mean, the duel is not guaranteed to win, and if most of your burst damage is getting wrecked before the fights even begin, there's not a whole lot that the Legion Commander is going to be able to do, even if you're wildly out of control in terms of your right click damage.
Yep. Well, props to Bone7 for not feeding any damage over to the side of XPC. But let's have a look at, of course, BlowYourMind does have heavy late game. And if they can't survive that long, this game can be turned around. The Ember Spirit does have his Battle Fury up after his Manta. So slowly but surely looking a little bit better. And I mean, it's going to be difficult for XPC to breach high ground if they don't have Aegis.
Yeah,
which they actually do.
Difficult, but I mean, they have a lot of blink abilities, and that's not something that BYM is really keen on taking a fight with. I mean, if they get, for instance, if Cancel gets caught out, or if BKB goes up, he could very quickly just get blown apart before anything. Come with me as well. So they're going to get caught out here, and Keanu will start things off for that sheep stick. Come with me, probably not going to make it out. He actually does get the time to turn that blink on, and Cancel will, however, not be the one who is so lucky. Bobo is going to try and do something with the ulti, but not enough.
Yeah, I think that might just be game right now, because there's no buyback here on the Shadow Fiend. Getting caught out without that 10-second BKB. I mean, you don't know where the enemy is, you don't have vision, and yet you're up here, extremely far up. A little bit of misplays coming through from, BlowYourMind. But let's have a look here. Come with me being engaged upon. Once again, the sheep stick is there. I mean, that's double sheep sticks coming through from the side of XPC. The Chain Frost flying through, they don't really care. They're like tanking it up. And, well, it's only Bone7 left. Do you think you just call GG now and move towards game 2 and try and refresh?
Yeah, I mean, what are you, or what can they really do at this stage? None of their heroes are even remotely farmed. You're dealing with a Quap that's pretty much uncontrollable unless you land the ulti on her, and the rest of the team is you know, more than capable of backing her up. So yeah, BYM, I think just reset, go back, maybe not draft so greedily, and maybe you can pull something through here, because XPC, I think, have given us a little bit of an exhibition in how to punish greed in an opponent lineup.
Well, we said this before, I'm going to say it again. Blow Your Mind won the group stages, or won the initial phase of this competition of the Romanian Dota 2 Pro League, and they chose to go up against XPC first. So they chose to go straight for the second place, because it was Blow Your Mind, then XPC, then it was between Refugees and who was the other team again? Sorry, I've already forgotten. Project Dota. And they chose to go up against, you know, the second place. So being a little bit too cocky, perhaps not. But take a page out of Refugee's book here. I mean, Refugee called GG quite early on just to reset, so that you don't get into that trench, so that your mind doesn't just go completely blank for the next game. But Blow Your Mind says, well, we aren't done. It's 2 lanes down. We still want to push up. They need like 3 full team wipes to actually get back in this game. It's going to be very, very, very difficult.
Yeah, 3 full team wipes plus like a major series of throws by XPC here. I mean, they've got no real forms of damage. They've got no real ability to actually push out any lanes right now. I mean, they can take out the tier 2s, but does that really make all that much difference to XPC? You start to go through a tier 2, then a tier 3, and then only get to the racks.
There's a smoke coming up right now. Are they going to be able to...
BOM is even capable of getting to the racks.
Hold on quickly on that thought. They do decide to go into cancel. Once again, he did not get his BKB up. The blink is in there from the onto the Queen of Pain. Requiem of Souls actually going. They do manage to get 2 heroes down, but it is for the price of 2, and that's just 3 down. And unfortunately, the GGs are just instantly called. Once again, the Shadow Fiend getting caught out there. She did manage to pop the BKB, but are you sure you want to have your Shadow Fiend run in front every time, and you're running uphill without any vision in your jungle? XPC just saw that, and extremely well played there. I have to say, XPC outschooling Blow Your Mind, saying, listen, we're in this to win this.